So St Stephen's. It dates from 1215. There's been a lot of churches on this site, but successively they burnt down, unfortunately. It has been through some trials. We had the wars of religion. The Huguenots and the Protestants did a lot of damage to these carvings. And then, of course, the French Revolution, when a mob came into Auxerre with crowbars and just smashed everything. It was pretty horrific for the church. Now, what do you think they thought the shape of the world was in 1215? Flat. This is the story of creation. Look. It's definitely round. Educated people knew it was round. Yeah.
True.
It's quite something. You think how long these carvings have been here? We're talking 700 years. You've got, look at this, the creation of Eve, where Adam's put to sleep on the rib bone. It's beautifully done.
Yes.
And you think a mob come in and just smash it. Incredible. You've got Cain and Abel. And then the Luciole. She is an old boat. It's all the crew.
Very stupid. It's not sure. You see?
It's the original passenger boat. Very old.
Insomma, la che si lascia.
Sta
Sì.
fare vedere come se fosse
Mhm.
If you look at how fine that
Wow.
it's like lace work, isn't it? Quite amazing.
limestone, is it?
Oh yes. All
Is
like
that the broke all the head?
Yeah, revolution. Yeah. Because the king and the church were like that. The kings of France were ruling with sort of divine backing, if you like.
Like Charles.
And
Divine
also
Right.
people had to pay a tax to the church. So the church wasn't
I'm
popular.
just recording you, is that okay?
Yeah, fine. None of this is true.
I just want to get your
This being seen
permission.
as a symbol of the monarchy, this is what stood for the king in the town.
Yeah.
And all this would have been gilded and
Really?
painted. So it looks very different today. It's all been cleaned off. But,
You want
yeah.
to see some of the faces?
Yeah.
There's something that you nearly always see on the west front of a cathedral in France. These statues here, the ladies inside, that's the wise and foolish virgins. If you look, the little cups, they're supposed to be lamps that they're holding. They're upright on the left.
Yes.
On this side, they're pointing down, symbolising they're empty. Yeah. And of course, that's the left-hand side of Christ.
Yeah.
Each welcome, was it sample of what exactly just happened?
This is the story. It's stories from the life of Christ.
Cups this way, and the food.
Yes, with the cups down.
And
ایشون هم بنده است. خوب نگاه کنین. کیف کنین.
I'll go and light some candles and get some potion.
Okay, yeah, so just be careful because the steps go down and and they're a little bit uneven.
Maybe.
It's a shame that no house.
That's the revolution, dude, isn't it? Broke everything. Develop this.
This is a town of only 40,000 people. And you look at the size of this. There was real money here. That's 132 feet, the top of the arch. And you think it's done with wooden scaffolding, old hemp ropes, and by hand, no machines. The way they used to lift the stone was like a big hamster wheel, a huge drum, which they wind the rope round, and on the end of the rope was like a big pair of sugar tongs, used to grip the stone in. And they used to use blind people to walk inside it. Because blind people, it gave them something for employment, which they wouldn't have otherwise, and also not scared of heights. You can't see where you are. Two of the medieval cranes are still up there, beyond the vaulting, because there's no point bringing them back down again. I've seen a reproduction of one of those, I think it's Discovery Channel, and one man can easily lift a car. It's no problem. So lifting these stones was relatively easy with those machines. But what they do is put a wooden former, and then you lay the stones against this wooden archway, if you like, then 3 Hail Marys and 3 Our Fathers and a sledgehammer, and you knock the scaffolding away, and hopefully that stays up. Because sometimes it didn't. Incredibly dangerous. This is what we call flamboyant Gothic, and you get the word flamboyant because if you look at the tracery of the windows, it looks like flames, where it comes from. Back when they built this, they weren't using the word Gothic. Gothic was a term that came during the Reformation because the Protestants were saying this is pagan, it's too overdone, and the Goths were pagans, so you get the word Gothic. That's what we use. They had some problems here in Auxerre. Quite often, Christian churches were built on top of pagan sites, and the pagans, the Celts, used to worship at springs, and we still throw coins in a fountain that comes from that. Underneath this this side of the church was a little spring. Even though we're high up, there was a spring here, and this bit of ground was a bit marshy, and what they had to do was pile drive oak trees, whole trees, into the ground, which then the church is sitting on. And you'll see that we've only got a tower this side. Usually, if you think of Notre Dame in Paris, you've got 2 towers. We've only got the one here, because this one they started to build it and it collapsed. It won't take the weight this side. When we walk up into the town, if you look back, you'll see it looks rather odd because of that. They say it should be the letter H for Victor Hugo. Right. That's what they say. Yeah. So, start walking down this.
And excuse me, do you know how long it took to build this church?
Sorry?
How many years it took to...
250 years.
250 years.
You mean
You imagine there's a master
generation
mason.
after generation, and they just follow
Yes.
the same
Well,
instructions?
they got altered over time. One generation will come up with a different idea and add, so things evolve.
Every generation adds something.
But, yeah. But you think you've got a master mason who's drawn out on what they call the tracing floor, which was plaster, and he'd scribe the lines, which is what they cut the templates from, to then the wooden templates to shape the stones with the masons. He's drawing something that won't be finished for 200 years. We don't think like that.
That's astonishing.
And sometimes you can see it kind of
Yes. Because they always started with the East End.
Is that coffee?